world where secrets shimmer under neon lights. This isn't small talk. This is TRPP True Talk. We don't just watch the shadows. We dive into them.
What's up, guys? It's your boy TRPP, and I'm back with that true talk, baby. Let's go. All right, guys, good to see you all. Thank you all for catching the premiere. If you're catching the premiere, if you're catching the replay, I appreciate that as well. If y'all could smash that like, smash that share. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. All right, guys. So, y'all seen the thumbnail. I'm sure y'all can figure out what the topic's going to be. Yeah, I reviewed a certain tragedy pimp, right? And we've all kind of given her quite a bit of attention, and I think it's time for a little bit of, well, at least some of us, especially as men, to go ahead and focus in and give a little bit more extra special attention to her co-host. The co-host that none of us ever wanted to hear, right? He does give us some leakage, some information that's needed, but at the same time, this individual is a disgusting, inappropriate, drunken loser who likes to throw out misinformation and use religious manipulation and religious persecution against the haters. Now, my last rant didn't have anything to really pull up. I was just giving my thoughts and opinions. But last couple days, this guy has really gotten out of pocket, and I feel that is a man in this community, right? Um, we're not supposed to have opinions, I guess. Some people say, but I don't care what people say. But I definitely can have some opinions on this dude, and I don't care what anybody thinks. Um, yeah, this guy is absolutely disgusting. He is disrespectful on another level, and I thought that his old lady, Miss Moo Moo, had taken this tragedy that we've just experienced in our nation. Like I said, um, the Charlie Kirk assassination. Uh, I thought she had done a pretty good job of disrespecting every single night since it happened, and he has just went ahead and added a little bit more disrespect. So I pulled up some clips from Hartley, and Hartley's an awesome clip channel. I'll put Hartley's I'll put her links down in the description. So if you don't know her channel, if you haven't checked it out yet, definitely go check it out. Amazing work. These clip channels, we have some really good clip channels that sort through the slop and bring us the good stuff, and some of them do it with some good animation too. It's very talented. So I'll definitely throw that link down there and check it out. But that being said, this guy in my opinion, he's an issue. He's got some problems. He needs a lot of help. He the things that he says when he's not drinking are it's crazy. It's like he sometimes he has this random information that's actually true, but it's just little sprinkles of random truth in a amongst just a ton of absolute BS. And he sits in the background of her shows that are supposed to be true crime, which she doesn't even do well anyways. And he just adds another level of disrespect to the victims by speaking of things that shouldn't be spoken on, topics that shouldn't be brought up, just remarks that should not be made during true crime coverage. And yeah, it's kind of blown me away that one that Mumu would actually choose this particular I mean, everybody's trying to cover it, right? It's news everywhere. But I figured like they've always claimed to be like these patriotic Americans and they've been into politics. I thought, just maybe they would you know, be half decent in their coverage. But no, I was wrong. I was definitely wrong. And, you know, I should know better, right? I should know better. And I did not think with this one, I thought like he would have a little bit, at least a little bit more respect with it, but he's proven that wrong as well. He has said some just absolutely asinine things, some disgusting things, and he's had a little bit of leakage, right? For me, it's like I keep going back to all these recent events with these two. Every time something comes up that can be used to distract from their frivolous litigation grift they have going on, they go full into it, right? So whether it's CPS calls, him waving the pew pew around, like all these different things that have transpired, um, she just dives into the drama of it, right? And I know that she gives that stuff time because she knows if she gets people talking and wanting to argue with her and her lies about these things that happen, then it's going to completely distract from the litigation. this frivolous stuff. And I wholeheartedly believe that she allows this co-host of her, the drunken prophet, as I like to refer to him. Everybody's got their own nicknames for him, Larry, Dylon. There's many names, but yeah, he's a drunken fool who likes to fancy himself a prophet and a philosopher, an educated man. He holds himself at a way a high standard, I guess, in his mind. He thinks he's so much better than everybody else out here, but the guy is an absolute joke. He sits in the back of these live streams and is super disrespectful to his woman. Um, you never hear him taking care of his children. It's always left to Mumu to take care of the kids. And he doesn't really seem to add a whole lot of value to their life in general. He just she she picked him because he was fine, right? But most of the women in this community beg to differ on that. And outside of that, I don't know really what she was thinking, outside of maybe it provided a roof over her head. But he's utterly useless. He's utterly useless, and the only thing he does is add to the disrespect of the coverage of these cases. And yeah, that being said, I'll go ahead and pull up some of these clips. We'll go through, I'll add a little bit of commentary, but I wanted to cover these clips. I know most of our community that'll be watching this has already seen a lot of these things, but I'm going to cover them anyways and giving my opinions just in case we get some new people over that are interested in learning about what's going on with one of the biggest tragedy pimp locales in the quote unquote true crime Krama sector. And her, I mean, I guess he's a co host, even though he's not usually mic'd up. He still adds to the, so yeah, so he's basically a rogue co host, we'll call it. Um, yeah, people need to know. People need to understand that this guy, it's not just her behavior, but this guy adds to it. And these are the reasons why she gets reviewed and everybody's so critical of her. Um, we could go deeper into what I think about her in another time, because I feel like she's very strategic in the things that she does. And I believe that she embraces this whole trauma situation and her victimhood, because that's a lot easier than actually doing true crime properly. Because if you're doing true crime properly, you have to be able to look at these cases intellectually, objectively, without throwing in crazy conspiracy. You have to do a lot of research. You have to have a level of professionalism, and she doesn't have that. She doesn't have the ability, the capabilities to do that. So she has really embraced this whole trauma situation, and she just keeps it going. It's a perpetual cycle at this point. But like I said, every time they get a chance, man, they are definitely using any event to distract everybody from the big issue at hand, and that is her litigation grift, and her threats of lawsuits against people, and her threats of getting people's channels taken down and taking away people's First Amendment, their free speech, right? Free speech. That's kind of a hot topic right now, don't you think? So I could see why she'd want to use all this to kind of distract. Um, all right, guys, let's go ahead and get into these clips. I'll get into this first one. And this one is let's see, I think this one, yeah, it's Pocket Profits Thought of the Day, like I said, by Hartley. Let's get it going.
You're ugly, fugly, and fucking inbred.
You're ugly, fugly, and effing inbred. That is the type of comments you will hear in the background of these live streams that are supposed to be true crime covering victims' cases. This is the type of thing that she allows on her show, and wonders why everybody reviews her and is so critical of her. It's, what can I say? Like the a normal person, if I was to go grab a friend that has nothing to do with YouTube, true crime, a family member that has nothing to do with any of this stuff, brought them in and said, "Hey, check it out. If you were watching a show and they were covering a case on, a horrible tragedy, um, a murder, a missing child, like any of that stuff." I was like, if you're watching the show and all of a sudden in the background you heard these comments, what would you think? Dude, any normal person would be like, what the actual is going on here? And it's wild because we have creators that are in the trauma sector, and they're literally sticking up for her. They're literally making excuses for her and him. It's insanity. Like it blows me away. It absolutely blows me away. Um, yeah, and then it's like all of the women creators in my side of the tracks and stuff, the dark side they call us. We're all haters and whatnot, but the women creators, they catch it bad from these other creators, these HOA and other people like them, for calling it out. And then these same creators that bash our women creators, if any of us male creators have anything to say about these bad behaviors, whether it's a male or female, like especially the females, if we have any opinions on the female tragedy pimps, we are we are demonized. We are yeah, we're called names that are very demeaning. Like, we're not supposed to have opinions. We're supposed to just keep quiet when this horrible behavior is going, and these creators like Mumu are covering these cases the way they do and re-victimizing victims and their families. We're just supposed to stay quiet. We're not supposed to say anything, and if we do, then we're horrible. We're not men. We're not men. We're into the drama. No, we're not into the drama. We're just calling out the BS. And I'm sorry if our logic is something that you can't argue against, you can't debate against it. All you have are bad faith arguments, or just out and out, just blatant name calling, because you can't win an argument with the logic. And that's how most of us approach this when we're calling it out and reviewing it. It's all logic. It's logic. It's not emotions. We're not wavering in our feels from day to day. It's a logical, objective approach. And seems like some of y'all don't like it. I guess the last video I did got reviewed by Trisha Talks, and I guess during her review, um, one of these other creators, you know, reviewed her live. They call it stream sniping, and I guess it was part of Trisha's live stream that where she was reviewing me. I guess there was some unkind things said about me. I don't really know what it was because I don't got time to go look at that crap. And to be honest with you, people of that quality, that low quality, if they don't like me, I'll take that as a compliment any day. But yeah, it's pretty wild that us male creators, or the male panelists or male subscribers, aren't supposed to have an opinion. Like, we're not supposed to have it. We're just supposed to be here, watch true crime, not commentate in the trauma sector at all, where bad bad things are being reviewed, bad behaviors being reviewed. We're just supposed to shut up, sit there and watch. Like, it's pretty crazy, because most of the people that have those opinions are highly virtuous. They claim a lot of virtue signaling. Um, a lot of people that are for equality. So it's pretty wild that in this sector you have people that say us men don't have the equal right to give reviews and opinions on these people that do these bad things. It's crazy to me. But let's go ahead and keep rolling.
Fucking hyenas. The way I see it, there's lions, there's wolves, and there's sheep.
Mm-hmm.
The sheep are the dummies that are walking around. They don't know nothing. The hyenas and the wolves, they're trying to fucking fight us and take something from us.
Yeah.
And they want to take something from us because we're the fucking lions.
So let me clear up what he's saying here. He considers himself a lion, and the rest of us review / hater channels from the dark side are, the hyenas, the scavengers trying to pick off their food. And what he considers the food the his assets, his prey items are the sheep. And those sheep are the subscribers and the members of his woman's channel. So if you're reading between the lines here, all him and his old lady do is they're after the money, and they look at those people like nothing but dollar signs as their assets for financial acquisition. And they do not like the fact that all of us review channels or any of us subscribers, panel guests, moderators call out the bad behavior because they don't want to lose those quote unquote sheep that just hand out their hard earned money or their set incomes, because there's quite a few people in these brackets that are on set incomes. He doesn't like the fact that we review and threaten that. The thought of us coming and reviewing and being logical, rational, ethical, moral people and trying to wake up his quote unquote sheep, that triggers him greatly. And the way he speaks about it and the way that he tries to make it biblical, it's it's infuriating as a an individual who is a Christian. Um, and I would like to think of myself as a proper one. Um, this right here, this just pisses me off. It absolutely does. Um, Now I have this thing called emotional maturity, so I don't go off and get all crazy like some folks will, but it still pisses me off nonetheless. Um, let's keep going.
You can call it a hyena or a wolf. That's what they are. They try to group up and fucking take something from the big dog, from the king. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
We over here with blessings from God. You a scavenger trying to steal something from us, and you more worried about us than getting out there and praying upon them sheep, because you know how fucking weak you are, and it kills you that we so fucking strong.
Yeah, yeah, pretty wild, pretty wild, man. I don't know. I mean, you heard that. It's blessings from God for all the hard work he does not do. And most of that channel that he considers a blessing, those sheep on that channel, his words, not mine. Most of those blessings, those sheep that bring him the money, wasn't even built by his woman. No, it was built by a lot of different people that have come into that channel and have added value to that channel and the true crime coverage and brought in the subscribers. Very little, in my opinion, was her doing. She gave them a place to do true crime and let the talent come in. And she's had waves of different talent come in up until this last year. She lost too many, and there's been too many cycles of it, and it finally started. The review channels finally started to see it for what it was, and it really started to fall apart for her with the Sebastian Rogers case. She aligned herself with some pretty bad people, and in doing so, she went ahead and let her mask slip, and now we see her for what she is. But yeah, it's these words though. I don't understand how these people can sit in her chat and listen to this guy talk the way that he talks and not see it for what it is. It's mind blowing. Um, Especially for the age brackets, because like if most of us creators have the analytics, we can go to analytics and you can see the age brackets for the people that subscribe to us, and it's pretty straight across the board with all creators. It's pretty even on the age demographic. So for people of these ages of that should have knowledge at these ages, should have some life experience. It saddens me. It bewilders me at times that they can listen to this and not be completely offended and continue to support it. it's crazy to me. All right, let's go ahead and I'll get this next one pulled up. Okay, so this is Hartley again. This is Pocket Profit Thought of the Day, 8 out of 10. And this is when I really started getting upset this week. And like I said, I'm emotionally stable, so when I say get upset, I ain't out here raging or anything. But it is definitely piss you off, regardless of how emotionally stable you are. It's gonna make you mad. And if you're a person that actually cares about human life, and regardless if you liked the gentleman that was assassinated, Charlie Kirk, whether you like him or not, to listen to somebody speak about the dead this way right after they've been taken from this earth, especially the way that it happened to him, how can you respect this? All right, I'll let it play, and you can see what I'm talking about.
I like Charlie Kirk like
Mhm.
8 out of 10.
Yeah.
He ain't even everything for me. Like, you know what I mean? I agree with everything he said. With like him personally though, 8 out of 10. He's like, he ain't Eminem. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
So this egotistical douche is puts ratings on a man that just died. And his ratings aren't because of the quality of the man. His ratings on this man are based on this guy's personality preferences and his look. Yeah, he judges on looks and money. And I can't, man. I'm just let it roll. I'm just gonna let it roll.
what you said?
What?
We on? Yeah, I'm trying to support you.
Okay.
For me, like Charlie Kirk is a 8 out of 10. I agree with everything he said. I might not like his vibe so much, but nothing he ever said that I ever disagreed with. He supported Jesus. He supported God. He supported righteousness. He supported uh, law and order. I never disagree with anything he said. That's where I stand. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't as cool as I would be, but so I take 2 notches from it. You know what I mean?
Like, okay, so he had some nice things to say about Charlie, right? He agreed with a lot of stuff Charlie said, but to make jokes about the situation like that, and like jokes based around a very superficial things. And we all know, everybody that's watched these people know that both him and Mumu are extremely superficial. One of the first things that they'll comment on with people is their looks, right? And then then after looks, it's money. So maybe this isn't as triggering to other people as it is to me, but I just felt like it was a super disrespectful thing to be sitting in the back of a live stream that's covering this tragedy where this man has lost his life by an assassin's bullet and has left behind a wife and 2 children. It's disrespectful. In the comedy world, we have this little saying, too soon, because a lot of comedy likes to make levity out of really bad situations, and hey, I'm all into comedy, but with this man, too soon, dude. Absolutely too soon. And to be honest, for him, it should be never, because this guy's a life failure. To sit there and make jokes about two, I have to take two from him because, I'd be a lot cooler. Bro, no, you wouldn't. And you would never be in a position like Charlie Kirk was. You would never hold that level of respect. You could never be that, ever. You could never be that. Why? Because you're not a real Christian. You're not a real patriot. You don't really love your country. You're not a real man. Because if you were all those things, you would not be sitting in that house not doing a damn thing. Your old lady would not have to get on the internet and grift for money every night, every day, maybe twice, sometimes 3 times a day. She wouldn't have to do that. Your children would never have to come constantly bug their mom in the middle of her shows. If you are of quality like the gentleman that you're making fun of who just lost his life, you are a disgrace. You're not any of those things. You have none of the qualities. None of the qualities that you think you have in your head, you don't have those at all. You don't. You are extremely lacking on all levels in life. Plain and simple.
But everything he said,
Yeah.
everything he
Yeah.
so that's where I'm at. Like, was he the prettiest dude? No. Was he the coolest dude? No. But did he fucking stand for what's right and everything he said? Hell yeah. Every fucking thing he said, I agree with every
Sparkle
fucking.
Okay, and you hear the language, right? Okay, so every effing thing he said, she's in the middle of doing a show that's supposed to be true crime, where we have a level of respect. We're supposed to run our shows ethically with some morality, some decency, to show respect for the victims, right? And a lot of these true crime shows, you know, you have people from every walk of life watching them, right? Not everybody's into vulgarity, right? They're not all down with the vulgar language. Um, and especially when you tout yourself as being these Christians that sit at a level where they can throw accusation at people of being evil and that God's going to, judge them, to smite them, and that, we're so blessed. It's definitely a massive contradiction constantly with these two. They say all these things and try to make themselves look like these great people and then turn around and act like absolute asses. Yes, this guy is a giant douche. Um, giant.
Very. All right.
That's me, but
Yeah.
that's not Brittany. You could disagree with some of the shit he said, but Craigie, I agree with every fucking thing he said.
Okay.
He was funny looking. He was
Just
weird.
Arian.
He
Bear
wasn't
with me now.
cool.
Please
He
bear
was
with me.
nerdy, but I agree with every goddamn thing he
I
ever
don't.
Every GD thing he says, yeah, it sounds very Christian like. Make a joke about a guy, clown on a guy, demean a guy whose life was just taken, use foul language, and base all the jokes off of superficial things. I mean, it's super classy, right? Super classy. Couldn't imagine why so many people are upset with her trash coverage of cases. Just couldn't imagine why. All right, let's go ahead and get the next one queued. Okay, so this gets weird. Okay, so most of the time when we're hearing this gentleman in the background, he's drunk or on his way to being drunk. We rarely hear him sober. When he's sober, it's usually like some dietary health misinformation that he's spouting off, and it's really annoying. He does like this. He's like a motor mouth, man. It's just diarrhea of the mouth. He cannot shut up, right? And it's usually less vulgar. It's he you could tell he's got a little bit more sense of control, but it just keeps coming. But for the most part, we just hear him when he's drunk. And when he's drunk, there is no telling what's going to come out of his mouth, which leads me back to my opinion that she keeps this fool in the background. So there's constantly something for the review channels to review and be distracted by, so that they're not focused on the important thing, in my opinion, and that is the litigation grift and their constant threats of channel takedown and when you take the channel down, I mean that's removing individuals' First Amendment. So yeah, I believe that she uses him as a tool. And not only that either, it's for the very gullible ones that sit there in her chat and continue to support her. I know he's also used as a tool for sympathy because they feel bad for her that she has to put up with this. In my opinion, I don't feel any sympathy for that because we're in 2025, and if she wanted to leave, there are so many programs. She's got family. I'm not saying life wouldn't be, a little difficult, but hey, I had a single mom. I know a lot of single moms, and I've seen some single moms do some amazing things and raise their children properly away from toxic men that were ruining their lives. So it is doable. It's absolutely doable. But I myself believe that she is absolutely comfortable with this lifestyle. I believe their personality types it it works out just right for her. I think they're both comfortable with it. Neither one of them have to better themselves. Neither one of them have to change, and they're both absolutely fine with this life of grifting and living off other people and living off the system. But yeah, that's just my opinion from what I've seen. So let's go ahead and roll this next one. So the the disrespect is real, and trigger warning for any of those that are extra sensitive to individuals making some very strange comments and strange comments during pretty much a speech that a very courageous woman's making after losing her husband to an assassin's bullet. So you've been warned.
It's gonna give me whatever I want. He based up pretty much.
Charlie.
Bullshit. I want you eyes. Yeah.
And for some context, what you're hearing is this individual is drunk. I mean, he's drunk as hell, and he has one of their cats, and he is having a drunken conversation with this cat, and he is like put a scenario together in his head with this conversation that he's having with this cat that is just super strange, and he's inferring and putting emotion onto this cat that he thinks the cat feels about him during it. The whole thing is super strange, very, very odd. But if you've been around enough alcoholics, you've seen some strange behavior, and I would assume that most people that are going to watch this video have experienced it. So, yeah, so that's the context of this. But mind you, this is all happening while his woman, Miss Moo Moo Snoozy Poon, is covering Charlie Kirk's murder, assassination, and Charlie Kirk's wife is speaking. This is what's going on in the background. And this is what all her people are okay with. And this is what the other creators over in that like HOA area, the virtue signalers, this is what they're okay with. This is what they excuse. And this is what they defend. It's disgusting.
What's your yeah?
Have no idea what they have
You don't
done.
like daddy anymore?
Full love.
Like me because I'm bad now. I mean, we found out daddy
Yeah.
brown eyes, and I'll give you my brown eyes. You don't want to give up your yellow eyes. You're mad. You're mad because the thing was, you be mad. Okay? You think about it.
So um, he's telling the cat that he wants the cat's eyes, right? And then some people will take it in different ways. For me, as I was listening to it, it's just a drunk dude that's admiring the cat a little too much, I guess, and wants to trade eyes with him because he thinks the cat's eyes are cool. And because he said this to the cat, he thinks now the cat is mad at him. And then he starts just it's crazy. It's hard to explain drunk ramblings like this because I mean, let's just listen.
She's mad. She's mad because I said that I want her eyes. That's a joke. Huh?
So, you're mad. You're holding the grudge because of what I said. Okay. Okay, that's what you want to do. Okay, you don't need so much. You don't know who it is. Why not? Do I not love you enough?
Oh my goodness. Let's see.
Am I not your best friend?
Craig, you gotta let me go to sleep.
So, there's a lot of things said during that live stream, during the full live stream. And here's the deal. No matter what you took from that, whether at certain times you think he's talking to the cat, or sometimes you think he's talking to Moo, let's just put all that aside, right? Let's just put that to the side. The main point is it's all incredibly inappropriate and disrespectful to the coverage of Charlie Kirk and his wife. And not only that, Moo turns around in the next stream, I believe is, the next day, and is lies about it, tries to lie about a lot of what he said, right? And it's the lies. So you're gonna let this guy sit there in on your shows in the background where everybody can hear him, and let him act a fool, and then she turns around and tries to gaslight the hell out of her people, which seems to work because they stick around for it. And not only that, she tries to gaslight all of us review channels and subscribers over here that are calling out the nonsense. And when it doesn't work, when the gaslighting on us doesn't work, and we're still, steadfast in our opinion on what happened, then we are called demons, we're evil. And it's gone to the point, it's so extreme, the labels that she puts on us, that we are being called suicide trolls. There's accusations not just by her, but she's had panel guests and other creators that say that w- we're not going to rest. And us, when I say us, the quote unquote dark side, the review channels, we're not going to rest until she is hurt or she is unalived, or that we want that. No, we do not want that. Come on. Are you serious? Are you serious? That's absolutely asinine. Like, anybody that had would go to that point, eh, you need your head checked. Absolutely need your head checked. If you cannot look at this and see it for what it is, like, your intellectual level, your maturity level, your emotional maturity level is so stunted that I sincerely feel bad for the people that live around you, like, in your real life. And that might be harsh, but I truly do, because I don't understand how you could watch the behaviors from her, from him. They're so egregious. I don't understand how you can watch this and then be okay with it, and then be mad at the people that aren't okay with it when we lay out the receipts for it. We show the behavior. We don't lie about it. We don't twist it. It is what it is. It speaks for itself. We all approach it very logically, very objectively. There's no hate or malice in it. It's literally, this is what you're doing, and it needs to stop because it's just wrong. It doesn't matter how much they want, these people want to twist it. It's just wrong. And for a lot of you not to see it that way over on the HOA side and all the other people that support these individuals, like, for you not to see it, or for you to excuse it just because you might not like the individuals that are calling out the bad behavior, you need to really stop and take a long look at yourself. A long look at yourself, because to support this is to enable their behavior and perpetuate this cycle that they have going. And their cycle is getting worse. It is literally getting worse by the night. The behavior is literally getting worse by the night. And you're just bolstering their confidence and the fact that they could do this and get away with it, and that they'll suffer no repercussions from it. And that to me is that's just as bad as what they do, you know? All right, I got one more for us, and it's another Hartley clip. Like I said, I went ahead and used a lot of Hartley's clips. There's a lot of other clips that I'm gonna probably be reviewing on this individual. But I figured these ones she did very well, and they're pretty up to date on the situation at hand and what I wanted to cover. So yeah, I just figured I'll just use all hers. So Hartley, I appreciate you. Great work. Um, yeah, so here, let me pull this next one up. So we got the Pocket Profit thought of the day, their papers. Now, this one is where we get a little bit of leakage. We get some leakage. Um, and what I mean by leakage, litigation leakage, right? Because when Mumu started this whole frivolous litigation talk and her whole fundraising for this frivolous litigation, she has been very vague on what it is that she plans to do. Um, all she really says is it's going to put it into their power. It's going to put it into their ability to do what they're doing, and it's going to silence them. It's going to get them to stop doing what they're doing. It's super vague, and she won't even be open to her subscribers that are supporting this, that have helped fund this. And she keeps pushing back the date on when she's going to tell them what she's doing with it, right? And there's a lot of us in the community that, we're kind of torn. We think she might have an attorney, and then at times you think, maybe she doesn't. Maybe this is just a full blown grift. Um, but one thing I think we all agree on is that what she has planned, he doesn't really know, because he says things that, and especially even in the last litigation in PA, he doesn't really know what's going on. And he'll say things in the background of this leakage, and through this leakage, you can tell he's really not 100% up to speed on what's going on. She's definitely keeping things from him. And that's another thing too, is like all the people that support their bad behavior, like, how you guys don't see that? And you guys are okay with it. You want to continue to support her when she's over here hoodwinking her old man and sucking financials from the community as a whole. It's all around just, it's just horrible, man. It's a it's a crazy cycle. It's like yeah, like some days, like when I'm venturing into these live streams and we're reviewing stuff, and I I sometimes have to sit back and be like, is this real life? Is this real life? And I know we're on YouTube, and I know a lot of people, well, it's just YouTube. Well, yeah, it's YouTube, but like these are literally real people sitting behind these cameras, behind on these live streams with real behavior. I mean, this is really how they behave. So yeah, it's crazy. So let's go ahead and we'll get into it, and you'll see what I mean by the leakage.
I can't believe they hadn't come out with their papers yet.
Oh, no. Stressful.
You gotta try to put yourself in our shoes
Ugh.
for just a
So when he says, I can't believe they haven't came out with their papers yet, to me, that infers that he believes that their attorney that they're supposed to have has sent out papers to creators for some sort, either, C&Ds or some type of litigation. In his mind, that has happened. And you could tell every time that he does start to say some stuff that she's told him that doesn't actually align with what she said that she's going to be doing, or at least what she's told the community, or the threats that she has made to the other creators. The moment he starts saying some stuff that she didn't expect him to say, you could hear her. She'll start mumbling and trying to talk over him, like immediately. It happens the same every time. But yeah, he this guy fully believes that papers have been set out, that there's something and the wheels are moving. He thinks something's going on, and he talks all big and bold about it. But reality is, no creator's got a paper yet. I'm sorry, Dylon, Larry, Mr. Drunken Pocket Prophet. You're being played, my guy. You are being played. That's and to sit up there and boast and brag the way you do, it it honestly it's pretty embarrassing. Let's see how you take it when the PA litigation is completely said and done, and you realize that your woman has potentially lost you life changing money, and that this whole idea that you're a rich individual has flown away. It's gonna be devastating for you, my guy. It is. You might want to get off the bottle before then, because if you're still on the sauce when that information comes, oof, life is gonna be hard, my guy. And then you ain't gonna be able to afford the Michelob Ultras anymore, or that vodka, or them gummies. So I'd start tightening it up, boy. I would start tightening it up.
Minute and realize
Yeah.
how many times they've come to our house and all the things that we've had to go through.
Yeah.
Reap what you sow, man. And y'all planted a lot of misery on us. And
Yeah.
it's still not over for us. So
Yep.
So we've planted a lot of misery on them. So her bad behavior, his bad behavior that has caused concern in our community and within our community and outside of our community, because there are people that traverse and don't just hang out in these communities, but they go throughout all kinds of other communities, right? We have a plethora of different types of people and different with people in different careers, right? So there are actually a lot of mandated reporter types that flow through these streams. Um, so to put it on a certain group and say like, y'all, it's all y'all's fault, when you can't pinpoint who called because they were concerned about the kids, or they concerned about the animals, or they're concerned because this drunken idiot waved around a handgun while he was literally drunk as hell on a TikTok live. Like, we didn't do that. You planted those seeds. You're reaping the fruits of your behavior. All right. So that's not on us. That's not on us. That sounds like a lot of projection. But in this guy's mind, he is so delusional, uh, so narcissistic, that yeah, he feels like it's all attacks, demonic attacks by people that have evil spirits on him and his family, and he will not accept that it is his bad behavior and his woman's bad behavior that has caused them this heartache and stress. It's yeah, I mean, that's I'm not a professional and this is just my opinion, but that's why I believe they're both of a narcissistic personality type. I think they're both two different types of narcissists, but it's never the narcissist's fault, right? It's never their actions. It's always somebody else's fault. And I mean, I'm just plain as day for people that aren't narcissists, I guess, or at least people that have a self-awareness about them, that you do stupid things are gonna happen to play stupid games, win stupid prizes, you fuck around, you find out. It's all the same thing. Just keep going.
You're gonna reap a lot more. When you plant a little seed, you get a big plant. You put a lot of misery on us, you're gonna get a hell of a shitstorm coming your way. Because God, that's the way
That's
God
just-
works. It's
yeah.
God's justice.
Yep.
I'm gonna stop saying karma.
It's-
It's God.
it's-
Like,
Mm.
I didn't know I could cut hair, but I watched my grandma. She was a
So that's what I'm talking about, that religious stuff right there. Like, no no real Christian, no real Christian is going to sit up there and speak the way that he speaks. I do not know of one genuine real Christian that does this. And to do this forfeits you from being able to claim that title, in my mind. The moment I hear a person speaking like this, I immediately disregard you as a brother or sister in Christ, because that is not what we are. That's just not what we are. These people are the worst. They are absolutely the worst. These type of hypocrites um that use faith as a weapon when they sit there and do even worse things than the people that they claim that are doing bad things against them. They are the absolute worst.
Beautician, and I watched her cut hair so long. Once I started cutting my own hair and the kids' hair, I was like, wow, I can do this because like I watched it for so long. I actually like cutting hair. I think I could be a barber.
It's what it is, man. If God can deal with it, we got to.
I didn't know my faith was so
It's
weak.
okay,
And after all the
Jamie.
things we've gone through and we still stand, it makes me realize, like, maybe the Lord really is more faithful to me than I realize.
Yep.
I can't believe we've made it through all this. I get mad that you put me through all this, Lord. But I'll be honest, right?
And that right there, the Lord did not put you through all this, you idiot. He's not the one that put you through all this. You are the worst. Let me pick my words wisely. So yeah, that's not the Lord's doing, my friend. That is your doing. That is her doing. This is on y'all, not us, not the Lord. Has nothing to do with it. This is your bad decisions, your bad behavior, your horrible lifestyle. Uh, the list goes on. This is on you. This is on you. The Lord has nothing to do with it. You need to keep the Lord's name out your mouth. You need to seek help for the issues you have with the alcohol addiction, because that's what it is at this point. Like, in my opinion, we see it every night, damn near every night. And all it takes is listening to him in the background to know what level he's sauced himself up to. It's every night. So my guy, dude, like, you don't work a job, you don't have a career, you don't take care of your children, you sit around and worry about your looks and your diet and how many calories you're eating during the day so that you can have some alcohol in the evening. My boy, you got a problem. And that problem makes your decisions even worse and brings all this on you. It's at your age, dude, you're making mistakes that people make in their early 20s. Like, dude, you're almost 40 with a woman and two kids, and you sit around that house doing nothing, relying on her income. And granted, we're not really sure. You might, there's speculation that maybe you do get something from the military. We haven't nailed that down yet. But even at that, you're failing, my guy. You're failing, and to put it off on the Lord and everybody else it's insanity. You are not blessed like that. You're not. You're at this point, honestly, you're lucky. You're absolutely lucky that the bad decisions that you make constantly haven't cost you dearly, because the mistakes we've seen literally on live streams could have been life altering mistakes. Yeah. Your lack of self awareness and your the inflated ego, it's out of control. It's absolutely out of control.
But I'm amazed that we made it through it, even when we shouldn't have. Sometimes maybe we shouldn't have went through some of this. Maybe I should have got in trouble the other day when I was there, But
When he said the other day, he was referring to the day that he waved the gun around on TikTok when he was drunk, and that ended up causing a call and CPS coming out. And subsequent between that behavior and then her nodding out behavior, they've had to take drug tests. And I'll be honest, man, like, there are certain states and certain counties where this behavior right here, it their kids would have got pulled from the house. So he's extremely lucky that these bad decisions haven't cost him even more than what just the stress of having to deal with law enforcement and CPS coming out and some P tests. Um, he's lucky. It's not a blessing. That's just pure luck at this point. But that luck's only gonna last so long. That's just how life works. Eventually, that luck runs out, and that word karma or karmic balance or whatever your idea of those scales getting evened out is, eventually it's gonna even out, and you're gonna have to deal with some stuff. And yeah, I'm gonna be around when it happens for sure.
They still let us through it.
All right, guys. So that's the last one that I had for you. Um, so my thoughts. Overall, I think I got most of my thoughts out that I want to cover right here. But I don't think it's going to get better, guys. I think because of the fact that they have a subscriber base that seems to either be gullible enough to keep supporting them, or there's individuals within their subscriber base and their moderators that literally have so much hate for creators on the quote unquote dark side that review these individuals' bad behavior. There's so much hate for those creators that they just decide to keep throwing money at Moo and Larry, which, like I said, just bolsters their ego and gives them, you know, that feeling that they could just keep acting this way and everything's going to be okay. I don't see it getting any better. And then you add the other creators over in the HOA or adjacent, creators that defend them. This behavior is not going to get any better, which is scary because it is escalated so bad. Like I first came across Beej back in 2023 when I was first, getting into live streaming and doing true crime. I would do my thing. I pretty much did my thing and would just kind of float around the community and check out different channels. I wouldn't necessarily drop in and chat. I would just kind of check them out. And the first time that she had popped up on my feed, I went in and checked her out. And within 5 minutes, I was like, she is not running her own show. These other people are running her show. And when she does speak, like the immediately within the first minute of hearing her speak, I heard her literally verbatim using talking points that I knew came from another show. So I was not impressed. And I was like, well, we'll see how this show goes, right? I mean, the people that were helping her on panel seemed pretty smart. But yeah, I didn't like the vibe. I was like, this ain't really my get down. I like people that are more authentic, that you can tell, like, they do their own research and they're giving you their own talking points. They're giving you their own ideas. So when I come across people that look like they're not authentic, they're just kind of like, taking other people's style and other people's research. It's not for me. But I would have never thought that from that point of seeing her to this point that I would have seen a transformation. She went from just a subpar, in my opinion, a subpar true crime creator who was blessed enough to have a lot of people fall into her sweet Southern Belle character and were willing to go up there to help her grow her channel. She went from that to now just being a full blown grifting tragedy pimp lolcow combo that she has literally joined the ranks of some of the biggest lolcows. Um, I would have never, yeah, I would have never thought that when I first came across this person. And I came across her once. I never really dipped back and looked at her channel. And then, I was had to take a little break from creating content, and I stayed active in the community, kind of found channels that I fit with that kind of align with, how I felt things should be done. And all of a sudden, Sebastian Rogers case came, and, Moo popped back up on the scene as far as, me me seeing her and stuff. And man, the evolution from a subpar content creator to a full blown locale it's been something to watch. But I just don't see things getting better. I think yeah, I think it's just gonna keep getting worse. It's gonna keep getting worse. She's just gonna become. I mean, if you could think like there's a lot of locales we can like kind of compare her to, but I think she's going to be her own. Like I think like a lot of people will be like, you know, Shani or insert name of locale, right? Like you have all these different locales, and a lot of people want to compare her to those people, and there are a lot of similarities to certain ones. Don't get me wrong, but I think she's going to set a new level for locale. She's going to set a whole new level for it. Um, because it's just going to keep getting worse. We see it every night, but we know why it's happening. And as far as I'm concerned, as long as this behavior is going to continue, as long as she's going to disrespect these victims and their families, as long as she's going to claim that she is a true crime creator and act the way that she acts and have this absolute jackass in the background disrespecting these victims, I'll be here to review it. I'll be here to call it out. And I ain't going nowhere. I want to see the PA fallout, and I want to see those papers come to the creators that she's threatened. I want to see how that goes. And if that's not what it is, then those creators don't get the papers, and people finally figure out that they've thrown their hard-earned money or the budget that they live on monthly to this woman who has just told them lies. I want to see the fallout for that too. Because, I don't really wish bad on people, but when you have individuals that won't change and that blatantly lie and gaslight are just bad people, sometimes they got to hit rock bottom. And I believe for Moo and Larry, I believe their rock bottom is unfortunately financial ruin, and that's where this is headed. It's not going to get any better. You're going to dig the hole deeper, and eventually that hole's going to collapse. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. And I had to go ahead and I wanted to get on here and review old Larry, the drunken pocket prophet. And, you know, he's got a lot of harsh things to say about us creators as well. And she is well known. Miss Moo is well known for having people do dirt for her on the back end. And it has come to my attention that one of our fellow creators that has been reviewing her intensely, I'm not sure if she had somebody do something or if one of her sympathizers had somebody make calls, but it seems that they've gone real life on this gentleman that has reviewed her because they didn't like his opinions and his words and his freedom of speech to review her. And I had already had this content planned, but yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna hold back. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot this. Go ahead and shoot this today. Get it out there. That being said, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the coverage, the review. If you're new, subscribe. If you liked it, smash the like. You're catching the replay. Let me know what you think in the comments. And I think that's it, guys. It's your boy, TRPP. It's been True Talk. And until the next live premiere, video, or short, I'm out, y'all. Much love. Peace.
In a world where secrets shimmer under neon lights, this isn't small talk. This is TRPP True Talk. We don't just watch the shadows, we dive into them. Dark pixel frame. Lights flicker red, then violet blue. Danger's real in this point of view, but we're not scared. No, we pursue Lagoon cruise coming through. Flash of a badge, flicker in the fog. Fish badge gleams in a midnight log. Static hums, the current blooms. You just stepped in the neon lagoon. In the lagoon, where the neon glows, the truth cuts deep and the mystery flows. Pissing gang, we're swimming with fire. Lagoonies rise, pulling tails from the wire. This is TRPP, true talk, no filters, no spin. Where the real ones dive and the hunt begins. Cold trails, old files, broken codes. Neon tides pull secrets from the road. We don't just scroll, we break right through. A fish with a badge and a case to pursue. Facts get murky, truth gets rough. But in this lagoon, we're built tough. So grab your fins, tighten your vest. We go deeper, never rest. In the lagoon, where the danger's bright, we chase shadows through electric night. Put fish in the feed and crime on the line. Where this is our story, now it's time to shine. TRPP, true talk, justice served raw. Leon, truth from the depths, we saw it all. You're in the neon lagoon with TRPP, true talk.